Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, I'm Sierra and we do spooky lifestyle over on this channel. So if that is something that you're interested in, please make sure to like, subscribe, join my creepy little corner of the internet. If you've seen my past few videos, you know that this year is the first year I've done Valloween on this channel. It has been a blast and I have enjoyed every second of it. Today I'm going to show you how I did my Valoween table. I am so proud of it. I actually did a trial run and I was like, making sure I liked how everything looked, and then I was like, I don't know if I can replicate this. I think I'm just gonna keep it this way. So instead of just starting from scratch and going through it, I'm just gonna like kind of talk you guys through where I got the pieces, kind of how I assembled it, and that sort of thing. So hopefully that's interesting to you guys. But I absolutely love how it turned out. I have an in-depth video on this little tree in the back, my decorate my Valoween tree video. It was the most recent one before this. So if you want an in-depth on the tree, that is on my channel. Without further ado, let's look at the Valoween table. So I promised a DIY and I have delivered. I did a fake Valoween cake. I'll show you that process here in a minute, but look how freaking cute it is. Like, I kind of impressed myself a little bit. Letters were a little tricky, but let me show you real quick how we achieved this cake. And it's pretty easy. You'll be surprised. So I started off with this heart-shaped box from Michael's. It has a red foil on it, and I was afraid that my artificial frosting might not stick. So I took this Imperial Red from Folk Art. It's a chalk paint. And originally I went in with this sponge brush, but I didn't have a ton of control with it. And it kind of got a little clumpy and chunky. And so the first layer that I did, I used this method, and I was okay with this streaks, but it wasn't even and I wanted it to be a lot more even. So for the second coat, I went in with a brush and it gave me a lot more control, and I could still see some of the metallic through the second coat. So I was happy about that because I liked the metallic look, and it's not a real cake, so it can have some metallic aspect to it. So I did 2 coats of the Imperial Red and I thought that it was so pretty. The way it dried down was gorgeous and everything I could ever want. So I took a pencil and I sketched out my phrase "till death" so I'd have a little bit of a guideline and I wouldn't be in over my head later. Taking some lightweight spackling, this mimics icing perfectly. I've watched so many videos of people do this, and I just took like an icing piping bag and a little piping tip and I got to work. This was a little bit of a learning curve, so I went super slow, as you can tell, and sometimes I did have to touch up the letters. Like, I would use the end of a pencil to kind of like modify where the icing was laying just so that it was like nice and neat. You'll see right here where I'm just kind of like fixing the A and it just kind of helped to make everything look more cohesive because I do not decorate cakes. This is not what I do for a living, and so it was the first time I've ever done it and it was a little tricky, but I feel like overall it turned out okay. I thought my phrase was a little off center, but with everything else it kind of works out here later, so you'll see. So originally I wanted to do black icing around the edge, and I took this paint, this acrylic paint from Apple Barn, and I added it into the spackle and I kept mixing it up, and I heard horror stories about if you add too much paint it will make your fluffiness of the spackling just like flat. So we found that out the hard way, so learn from my mistakes. Don't do this. As you can see, it was like just it was just going wider than it was, in height. So I decided to stick to the white, and I liked how the little ruffle looked where I'm just doing this like wave pattern back and forth. So like I said, again, I'm not a cake decorator. This is all very amateur, but I liked how this gave a really nice ruffled effect. So I just kind of kept with it. I picked up some fake cherries off of Amazon, and I did these little dollops of the spackle, and then I just dropped each cherry into the spackling. I did this about 5 times around the edges. I could have gone really crazy and kept doing them like consistently all around the edges, but I didn't want to cover the writing, so I was happy with the 5 placements, and I felt like the cherries were such a cute touch. Then I was like, okay, what do we do with the sides? So I was like, let's do something easy and start off with dots. So on the lid, I did all these cute little dots everywhere. And then below that, on the actual like
box itself, I did these little swoop things. Again, we're keeping it super simple, but I feel like the more detail you add, the more it looks like a realistic cake. And then on the very bottom, I used parchment paper and just did the ruffle effect at the bottom to, hide the bottom of the box. But I let this sit for about 24 hours to dry, and I think it turned out super cute and I love it.
So as far as the actual table itself goes, we do have a glass table. So it's cool because I can kind of like see through it. And I was like, I really want something gauzy that you can still kind of see through. So I went to Michael's and I picked up, gosh, I think it was 10 yards of this red tulle. I felt so bad for the woman because I literally was like, I'm so sorry. And she was this sweet older woman and she was like, whoa, this stuff is hard to work with, like to sew, so better you than me. And I was like, girl, if you only knew I was going to put it on a table, you'd probably smack me. But I did that and I added twinkle lights underneath because it just needed something. It just felt kind of dull otherwise. So I started with the fabric, added my twinkle lights under there once I was happy with the bunching. And then I added in this little branchy wreath. I have it from Halloween. I think it came from like, gosh, I don't even know, maybe like Joann's or some Target maybe, could be a Target wreath. But I felt like it made such a great place setting and used a little cake stand and placed my cake in the center. I wanted that to be the centerpiece because I don't know, I liked how it looked and it just kind of gave it a little of a Valloween flair to it. As you can see, I have brought back the plates. If you watched my Valoween decor hunting video, I found these amazing plates and I love how it looks like an optical illusion with a little gold around the edge. Oh, it's so beautiful. It's kind of like, it's like a bowl plate hybrid. I don't even know. But I'm obsessed with it and I put it on top of these gorgeous chargers from Michael's. I got them on clearance. They were part of Christmas, I think. And they kind of have like almost like a vinyl record look to them, but they're like a deep, deep brown. So they actually kind of like match the tone of the chairs. So I kind of pulled that in to everything as well. On top of the plates, I used gold silverware. I felt like it really kind of tied in the gold rim of the plates. So I tied that with a little bit of tulle. It has glitter in it. If I were to actually have people over and serve them food, I would probably do tulle without the glitter because as pretty as it is, it got everywhere. Okay, so word to the wise. I absolutely love these glasses. These are my mom's. I think they came from Pop Shelf, I believe. I just love how it kind of like goes, well, it's hard because I have like purple, deep purple water in here, but it kind of goes from like clear and then it transitions into this really stunning charcoal like stem. So I felt like against all of the red, this really just kind of like gave a little bit of contrast to the table. I also found these like kind of hyper realistic roses from Target in their dollar spot this year. So I only picked up 3, so I have them kind of sprinkled in, but I thought it was so cute to just like tuck into the branch, glitter branch situation. So, and then I added a bunch of like candles and things that I had like thrifted and just had on hand. So kind of to add to the ambiance. Up here, I had this from a Temu collab. So I believe you can also get these on Amazon, I'll double check. But there's like spiders and bats and I just felt like it kind of like gave such a beautiful, like, I don't even know what to call that. What is that? It gives just like a nice kind of like flowy piece up at the top. And with all the like lights and candles and everything, I don't have to have this light on, but I popped it on here so you guys could kind of like see a little bit more of the detail. But I think that looks really cool and it fit perfectly on the light fixture. Okay, so moving to the back of the display where the cabinet is. Like I said, I'm gonna have a video linked down below for the tree if you want a more in-depth look at the tree. Just to kind of summarize, the actual red tinsel tree came from At Home. I got it at clearance time for Christmas. I got mine for $7, but last time I checked it was $2. And it is a 4-foot tall tree. And I added some clearance ornaments and some bats that I had on hand, and I think that it is so freaking cute. I can't even stand it. Underneath the tree, Let me grab him. Underneath the tree, my boyfriend gave this to me last year for Valentine's Day. It is a nice little plush skeleton with a nice bones heart that he has held between his two little skeletal hands. And I just felt like he kind of fit perfect in the vibe. He just like kind of sits there, gives a little pop of white, because otherwise everything back there is kind of dark. So I was like, I need a little pop. So he fits perfect and he's so cute. My little angel piece is one of my favorite things. It's like silicone. It's like a little, it's not a statue. It's just like a little silicone thing. And it came from Five Below and it was hot pink before. And I took a little bit of spray paint and some rub and buff and I made it look a little more antiqued, which I loved because I just loved that like antiqued gold vibe. Like I eat it up. So that's how I made that. And then we have my little ghost. I believe it's from TJ Maxx. I love that the eyes light up, so it adds a little light over in that little corner. My mom gave me the record player this year for Christmas. So I was like, I definitely want to incorporate this in there somehow. The cord's not long enough to reach, so I can't play it. So it's decorative right now. But I do have My Chemical Romance's 3 Cheers for Sweet Revenge 20-year edition vinyl. Oh, 20 years is crazy. But it's like so beautiful. It's like red and black speckled, so it goes with the vibe. So as much as it's not a love album, it has the Valloween vibe to it. I also have this little piece from Amazon and I love this. It's a little anatomically correct heart and it's a 3D kind of resin print sculpture, whatever we want to call it. I think it is so cool. And again, it has that kind of like antiqued look to it. So I thought that was very beautiful. Up above the record player, I have some burgundy velvet. It's technically a runner for a table. I actually almost put it as the runner on the table, but then I was like, I kind of like it draped. And so I did it asymmetrical so that it could kind of flow onto everything and off the side of the cabinet. And I got this like a couple of years ago off of Amazon. It's so pretty and I was happy to get a second chance with it because again, I don't always decorate for Valentine's Day, so I was happy to pull that out. Sitting on top of that is a cute little crystal ball. I got this from At Home a couple years ago and I kind of wish that you could keep it on one setting because I would love to have it on either like the purple or the red, but it kind of filters through every color of the rainbow, so it kind of kills the vibe a little bit. But it's still cute when it's off, so I included it. And then I have my little telephone from Target. It came out last Halloween, and again, has that kind of Victorian vintage look to it. I love the rotary aspect of it, so I just felt like it was a perfect little touch. Now for the candles, okay. I am going to find out the creator. There's a TikTok creator. I will put his name on the screen. He came up with the most genius idea of getting dried amaranthus and putting it in your candles, your candlesticks, so it looks like wax. It is so pretty. It is messy. It will get everywhere. That was a crazy part of the decorating process, was vacuuming all of the dried flower bits up. But I think it is so beautiful and it makes it look like it's just like this ethereal melted wax. So yeah, that's kind of it. Let me know what your thoughts are. I personally am a little biased. I like it. I'm happy with how everything turned out, but let me know if you decorate for Valloween and let me know how you decorated. If you like to do like reds or pinks or purples. I feel like there have been collections in the past for Halloween that would have been perfect if I had picked up some of those things for Valloween because they were like pastel pinks and purples at Michael's last year. Those would have been perfect, but I kind of like the deeper, darker, moodier tones, and I'm so extremely happy. Like, I know I keep saying I love how it turned out, but I do love how it turned out. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Happy Valloween. I will see you guys for one more Valloween video. I love how I never do it on my channel and then all of a sudden I'm like, and here's all the Valloween, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Again, if you're new, I would love for you to come back and subscribe. If you are a returning subscriber, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate each and every single one of you. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye guys.